Welcome back. Well, now my next guest is very possibly the best on-screen baddie I have ever seen on television. He's that good. He's a Dublin-born actor who has a cult following across the globe after an unparalleled turn as Sherlock Holmes' nemesis, Moriarty. Yes. Well, he secured a BAFTA award for his performance in this role and is without doubt one of the most talented actors of his generation. What a pleasure it is to welcome Andrew Scott, ladies and gentlemen. You know, from the moment you came on the screen as Moriarty and you opened your mouth, I wasn't expecting to see it. And I just heard this Churchtown Dublin drawl. Yeah. I was expecting something very different. How does a lad from Churchtown become Sherlock Holmes' nemesis? How does that happen?
Well, I just auditioned for it. I think I always felt that I had a villain in me.
Yeah, and the rest.
So I just auditioned, and that swimming pool scene that was at the end of series 1. Because it was just very late into production, they just wrote this scene, the swimming pool scene, very, very quickly. And they sent it to me a couple of hours before the audition, and they looked a little frightened, so I sort of knew that it had gone wrong.
Were you a Holmes fan going into the series, or was it just another part?
Well, I mean, I'd read some of the stories. Yeah. I think the guys who write it, Mark Gatiss and Stephen Moffat, are huge Sherlock enthusiasts, you know. So I think the reason it's become so successful is because there's nothing cynical about it, you know. They love it. They know all the versions of it, and so I think that's why it's become such a...
Because it commands an intense fan base, shall we say. We'll talk about that in a moment. But I do want to just talk a bit more about the character and your portrayal of Moriarty. And I'm dying to know, I was dying to ask you if I was to ever meet you, was how did you perfect something that is so demented and psychotic? Not an easy thing to do. So how did you do that? Did you have to dig deep, or are you kind of a little bit demented yourself?
Well, I come from...
Be careful now.
The 12th fittest family in Ireland. I think you've got to look at what's sort of scary within your own... within your own soul, you know? I think, because otherwise then you start copying other people, and I didn't really want to do that. And I think what makes a really scary villain is something that you don't expect. You think, God, what the hell is this? And I don't think people thought that they were going to see me as Moriarty. I don't think the TV audience had any relationship with my face, which I think kind of helps.
Very much so.
You know, that it wasn't a TV face at the time. And so, yeah, I think you've got to just look at, you know, the dark side of your own self. So then you can sort of create something that's a little bit more original, you know. And I think they're very clever in that they don't overuse the character, you know. A little bit like Hannibal Lecter. I think he's only in 20 minutes of The Silence of the Lambs. I think it's the talking about him, and it's the build-up.
He's the best bit, I mean, strangely to say.
Yeah, well, I think you've got to love the villain as well as the hero.
Was there much discussion about I mentioned that accent that you kept. I mean, you think it's Sherlock Holmes and Baker Street, London and posh. And you certainly don't think Irish.
No.
So where was the decision to kind of keep it Irish then?
Well, I did. I think I auditioned with a sort of villainy, hello, darling, a sort of accent. And no, I think it's an Irish name, and I think going with that. I think if you're going to be audacious and cast somebody like me in that character, you might as well go the whole hog and just make it.
And go for it.
Go for it.
It was the most tweeted programme of recent times. I mean, in terms of talkability, it was hitting about 10,000 tweets per minute after the last season, which is an extraordinary thing. I mean, so the phenomenal response to it, has that been something that you've been taken aback by, or are you rolling with it now?
I don't think you could. We couldn't have foreseen how successful. I always knew that it was going to be a big success to some degree, but you couldn't foresee how big.
Let's talk about Benedict Cumberbatch for a second, because he's another man with a big fan base. People like him. He's not a conventionally good-looking leading man, and yet he's extremely attractive to a lot of women, as you know, and no doubt a few men as we're at it. How is he there? There he is now. How do you enjoy working with him?
Yeah, he's fantastic. He's both of us kind of came from the theatre, you know, and I think because we were both, in our early 30s when Sherlock started, and so I think it's quite good for actors to not have that huge amount of scrutiny too early in your career. I think if it happens to you, it can throw you off a little bit, and people can boss you around and tell you to do things that you don't really want to do, and you start going after things for the wrong reasons. And I think we had 10 years. I knew Benedict as a theatre actor for years around the scene, and so I think the quality of the writing and the sort of theatrical nature of the writing really helped us. I think he's a real star, and he's a great pal, and it's great to see all this stuff.
Is he a good kisser? I mean, you did have to kiss him, as you know, from the rooftop there that last.
Do you know what? That is tame compared to some of the we get. There's a sort of a new dynamic that happens among fans now, where they send you, well, I suppose short films, is how you describe it.
Of what?
Well, what they do is they take love scenes that you may have been in the past, and love scenes that someone, Benedict, for example, may have been in the past, and they put them together, and then they give them to you, and they usually, they're usually very sort of shaky, shy hands, and then you watch and you think, Jesus, right. When did that happen? Because it's incredibly realistic. It's you get some kind of disturbing stuff, but also you get some.
You get some lovely stuff. Benedict Cumberbatch's fans are called the Cumberbitches, as you know. Do yours have a name, a nickname, or?
They're called Scotties.
Scotties, and that's not bad. And how are they? How are they in general?
I imagine they're well.
Yes, and you hope so. I mean, are they demented, to use the word again? Are they?
No, they're not actually. Most, you get the occasional odd person.
Yes.
But no, for the most part, actually, it's a real outlet for people. It's a whole other world that we're not really in control of, and you get sent really beautiful drawings and kind of some very, very moving letters and things. People really like it. It's sold to 220 countries all around the world, so you get lots of different
all sorts. I think is the message. Well, Rosaleen Harry, we put a thing out on Facebook during the week to offer 2 tickets to somebody who likes the show, who might be a fan of Sherlock and your own. And Rosaleen Harrington won the tickets. Where are you, Rosaleen?
Here.
How are you?
Hi, fine, thank you.
Good. Well done for winning the tickets.
Thank you.
And why do you want to say hello to Andrew?
Hi, Andrew.
Hi,
Do you want to ask him anything?
No, I just want to say, well done for your work on the show. I think it's fantastic. So that's all I want to say.
Can we see your tattoo that you had been talking to us about? I'll explain.
It's just a charm bracelet, and I have a key just with 221B reference to the apartments, because I'm a big fan of the books, and I think the show is just a perfect adaptation. And that's it.
And 221B, of course, for Holmes fans will know that it is
Baker Street. So
it's the address. You see, you're such a fan. You look at me as if to say, it's Baker Street. You what are you thinking? So you're happy to see Andrew as Moriarty and all that?
Yeah, it's perfect. It's like the show. The best thing about the show is that the books were so complex characters, and they brought it really well onto TV.
Great.
I think it'll be around in years to come, still watching it. So
well done on winning the tickets. You're a good sport, and thanks for coming in tonight.
Thanks.
So Andrew, I want to mention, for people who don't know, what age are you now?
I'm 26. No, I'm not. I'm 37.
You're 37. So what people might know that Andrew burst onto to our screens in a tour de force display some years ago, and that's when he came to most of our attention when you were in this ad.
Today, the fiber fitway. Plaza.
That's good, isn't it? Fond memories.
Yeah, I have really fond memories. It's so great because we don't have a video of that in our house. My mum will be delighted with that.
We'll sort that out for you.
But I remember it really clearly because I remember thinking, this porridge, what is this? Disgusting. I just thought it just looked like this horrible. I still don't like porridge.
I wish you wouldn't have said that.
Listen, I've got great advertising there. Flavins will be delighted with this.
Where's Mr. Flavin? Anyway, I should have told you. What does Alan Partridge say? Surprise me in rehearsal. Mr. Flahavan, how are you?
Very well, thanks.
How's business?
Oh, very good, but we could do with better comments than that.
Do you remember the young boy, Andrew Scott, filming the ad?
We did it up in Enniskerry and Enniskerry village and up in the woods around that, and then a house in Dublin.
Yeah.
So it actually went very well.
Wait, can you have his tracksuit back?
What?
Do you have his tracksuit still? You do?
What I have here...
I hear now. Is that the actual tracksuit? I think that is the tracksuit. Oh, that's so sweet.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
That's scroll time's sake.
Oh my God, it feels so guilty. I'm so sorry.
Is that the actual
It was when I was a
tracksuit?
child. No, I've already said I still hate
did say you hate Forge.
That's the actual tracksuit. But the only thing is, my children actually wore it as well, so it's a little bit, more worn than when you had it.
Well, you knocked a bit of value out of it, Mr. Flahavan, in fairness to you.
Well, I remember the Flahavans. I remember I was paid generously at the time. I remember it so clearly. I was paid £78.
What did you do with the money?
I'll tell you, I bought a bunk bed. You know those bunk beds that had a wardrobe and a desk underneath?
We all wanted one of
the
those.
coolest guy in
Best
the
present
world.
ever. Okay, so the porridge was great in the end, yeah. Remember, kids, porridge pays. Let's go back to what you're doing, because you've got a few projects on the go. Big Irish movie coming up soon. Look how neatly you folded that.
I do. Last year we shot a film called The Stag, which is a film with Peter MacDonald and Amy Huberman and Hugh O'Connor and Michael Legg and Andrew Bennett, and we shot it up the Dublin mountains, and it's about kind of modern Irish males. People have been asking me recently if it's like the kind of the Irish version of The Hangover, which it isn't. It's sort of it's a little bit warmer and full of heart. And we had our premiere at the Toronto Film Festival, which is a big endorsement of the movie, and it's been sold all around the world. It'll be out in Ireland, across the country on March the 7th, and in the UK on March the 14th, and then across the world.
So we'll have a look at that, and we'll be watching in Frankenstein with, who are you in with that, James McAvoy?
James McAvoy and Dan Radcliffe, yeah. We're filming that at the moment. It's a big old number.
So it's all going on for you at the moment.
It's all good,
well, look, this will not be the last time you're on the programme. It'll be the last time you're invited to Flahavan's factory for a tour. But it certainly won't be the last time you're on this show. Continued success. You're playing a blinder. Andrew Scott, ladies and gentlemen. Look at that. It's so neat. All right. Okay. Right, you go get yourself a nice bowl of porridge, I know. It's time to showcase some new Irish talent now, ladies and gentlemen. When so many aspiring musicians and singers are looking to the X Factor for a career, it's very refreshing to find young Irish musicians enjoying and playing beautiful traditional Irish music. And my next guests have already travelled to France, where they won the same competition that was a springboard to success for groups like Clannad and the Botti Band. And they are a very lively bunch. I think you're going to enjoy them, so sit back and enjoy for the first time on The Late Late Show, Skipper's Alley, ladies and gentlemen.